Okay, so tonight's class is on team building. So my question to you, Leslie, if you could get anything out of our time together today, what would you want to get? What would you want to know about team building? She's frozen. I'm like, okay. Well, you're frozen, so I'm just gonna talk about the benefits of what team building does. So, in our Mary Kay business, we know we have two oars of our rowboat. One oar of our rowboat is selling the product, and we can do that on the go, on the face, with them, and on the web. And the most profitable way to do that is going to be on the face. And the other oar of our rowboat is sharing the opportunity. And so when we share the opportunity, I want you to think of it this way. In your Mary Kay business, that is like multiplication, not addition. So when we sell product, we think of that at a party as addition, whereas booking an appointment is multiplication, getting referrals is multiplication, and sharing the opportunity is multiplication. And what we want to do is we want to learn how to work the numbers. And when we work the numbers, we take the emotion out of the equation. And the numbers that we have when we are sharing the opportunity is we want to share with 5 people. We say a new consultant will do 5 sharings, and out of 5 sharing appointments, have 1 new team member. And that is why Mary Kay has created the Pearls of Sharing program. So as a new business owner and beauty consultant, you want to work with me to do your 6 sharings. So when you do 3, you're going to earn your pearl earrings. When you have 3 more, you're going to earn your pearl bracelet. And when you get your first team member, you will earn your pearl necklace. And so your first goal, of course, is to make your list of 50 to 75 people that you know with skin and that you like them. That's the only 2 qualifications, is do they have skin and do you like them? And then you're going to go put a star down by 10 people, that if you could have those 10 to 20 people on your team and they would be your power partners, then you're going to put a star by them. And out beside each person's name, you're going to write down how you know them, so that when you snap a picture and share that with me, I know how you know them. And then you want to write out beside that a sincere compliment. And then I'm going to give you a script, and either we can schedule a time to get together where we can make the phone calls together in the text, or you can reach out, but you're going to want to schedule 20-minute sharing sessions. And it's going to sound something like this. Hey, Susie, I'm so excited. I just started my Mary Kay business, and I am an entrepreneur and a beauty consultant. And so one of my very first training classes is, in one of my very first training, you could say classes, or my challenges, is for me to select 3 people that I love the most and to help me learn how to share the facts about the Mary Kay opportunity. And girl, I selected you. Would you like to know why? Sincere compliment. It might be, you know what? You are my best friend. You have been with me through the thick and thin, and I just could not imagine doing life without you. And so we have this new program in Mary Kay that is called Bring Your Besties, and so I thought of you. So would you be willing to give me 20 minutes of your time? We'll have a quick chat with Lisa, my business coach, and you'll get to see why I fell in love with Mary Kay. All right, those are how we're going to set up those calls, and we can do those back to back. And when you do 3 of those, you're going to hear me share the facts about the opportunity. Some of it's going to sound very similar, but at the same time, it's going to sound a little bit different, because each and every person is going to have a specific and a different need. Okay. And so that's how we're going to set up the Pearl calls. Then we're going to do 3-way appointment. And let's talk about, why would you want to share the Mary Kay opportunity? Well, one, you make money. Hey there, Shay. How are you? Hi, Shay. How you doing?
All right. How are you?
I'm good, doing good. So you can go back and listen to the first part. I did the how to set up the sharing calls, and
Okay.
now I'm doing a conversation with trying to get back on. So Leslie said she's trying to get back on. Let me just text her real quick, and not sure what happened. Okay, okay, because we lost her. Okay, so I'm gonna mute you out and then you can mute yourself back on. But one of the things I want to make sure, Shay, that you get out of this call, like just what Leslie had, is if there's something that you could learn today, this class is on sharing the opportunity and team building. What would you want to know?
Um, I would like to know how to approach people to even consider them to make them team members. Because, like, how do we weed them out? Like, who do we know would be good for our team, and who do we think would be good to just have on the sideline?
Okay. Oh, I hit the wrong button. Okay, great. All right, that helps. So let's talk about. Let me pull up. Where would this be? This is why I love this. Let's see. All right. So I want to just share with you right quick is this was by Elite Executive National Sales Director Gloria Mayfield Banks. And so one of the things that she has is here are the qualities that I'm looking for on a team. In fact, I listened to National Sales Director Kristen Sharp. She did a sharing. I had posted it on our Facebook group. And if you haven't listened to that 15-minute call, then I would definitely have you listen to that. And this is one of the things Kristen said is make a list of the things that you want to look for in women. And as you start to write down your list of who you want to look for, then and ask for God to give you the wisdom and discernment and to put the people on your heart and on your mind, people are actually going to start popping into your head. So one of the first things for our diamond dozen is that we are looking for women who already know that God had intended them to be more, to have more, and and maybe they have just not found the right place to bloom and to actually be able to live into their gifting. I look for women who value education and training. Women who can embrace our Mary Kay philosophy of putting God first, family second, career third, and that want to treat other treat other people the way that you would like to be treated. Women who can get excited about positively impacting other women, and women who want to increase their financial situation, women who have a high degree or want a high degree of independence, and women who love to be part of a team and who have a will to win and have a will to work. So, some of the other qualities that I look for if I'm looking for that is I'm looking for women who want, who love people, who love the Lord. I look for women who are kind-hearted and who have a servant's heart. I look for women who are champions and who are leaders. We know that women are they could be leading in their church. They could be leading at the school with the PTA. They could be leading with the band. Hi, Pilar. So they could be leading in any area of their life and of their world. So there's Leslie. She's back. Hey, Leslie, I'm glad you got back. I know she fell off. So I've got you guys muted out. When you want to come back in, just click your unmute button. And that way, because if I hear a ton of background noise, I'm like a squirrel and it makes me go all over the place. All right. So workhorses. someone who has a strong work ethic. And as you start making this list, make a list and think, oh, you know what? I'm looking for champions. Like I'm looking for women who, have a fire inside of them and who are visionary thinkers. And they don't have to be in the Mary Kay arena. They might not have even ever tried the product, but that's the first thing. Like, who do you want on your team? And we want women who are champions and who have heart. And so as you start to make your list and you create your affirmations, we attract what we expect and we attract who we are. So if you say, okay, you know what? I'm positive, I'm energetic, I'm victorious, and you start living into that, you're going to pull people in that are what you think about. So what your affirmation could be, you know what? I attract racehorses, I attract leaders, I attract champions, I attract women who have a desire and a will to win, and start creating that, and then make your list. And then in the very beginning of this call, I went over, I'll have this on how to actually have the invitation to listen to a sharing appointment. And then let's talk about, let me pull this up, is, one of the reasons when you are, when you have your first team member, you're going to earn 4% of everything that your business associate orders from the company. So if you have a team member and you and your team, and you have one or two people on your team, you're going to earn 4%. And if your team did $1,000 wholesale, that would give you a $40 commission check. And then when you have 3 people on your team, when you are a first-time star team builder, then Mary Kay is going to give you a $100 bonus. You're going to get a $100 bonus. All right? So, that's extra cash in your pocket. You're also going to get a $50 rebate on your red jacket. And so that way you get to wear your designer red jacket, and Mary Kay is paying for that. And then when you you bring in a qualified team member. So let's talk about qualified. Qualified means that your team member either came in with a $600 or more wholesale order, or they came in with a $225 wholesale, $450 retail order. And if they came in March, they have March, April, May, and June to get Great Start qualified. When they hit that 600, Mary Kay is going to send you a $50 check. And if it's in your first 4 months of starting your business, then you're also going to get $220 of free product with our Ready, Set, Team Build promotion. And so if you look at your new Great Start app, and you go under the tracking, it's going to give you where you are for your product bonuses. And so, Shay, you came in March. So you've got March, April, May, June. And so anybody that you sponsor in March, April, May, and June, then when they come in with a $600 wholesale, Mary Kay is going to give you a $50 team building bonus, and she's going to give you $220 of free product. Okay? So anybody that you sponsor in those months, in your first 4 months. And then we want to know the rules of the game, because we want to max out our bonuses. So say Susie came in June, because that's your month 4. Well, Susie actually has June, July, August, and September to either start with her 600 or get her 600 cumulative. And you're still earning your $50 cash bonuses, and you're still earning your $220 of free product. And that is totally unlimited. So the bonus, the team building bonus bundles are for our new business owners for the first 4 months of your business. And your $50 cash bonuses are they are forever, okay, until you become a Mary Kay sales director, and then they become $100 per qualified team member, not $50. Does that make sense?
Yes. And I have a question. So I came in at the last day of the month. Do that still count towards my four
That's
months? Because I
that's
technically didn't have another month there.
Yeah, that still counts for March. So it's just the way, it's not a calendar month, it's just a month. So you have March, April, May, and through the end of June. So we
Okay.
will just bust it out. But that is a great, but they go through calendar months. And then I want to pull something up so you can see the difference of here. I'm going to share my screen of what it is if you had consultant versus director earning. Let me share my screen. Where's my sharing my screen? Where did it go? Oh, share. Okay. Okay. So right here, if I'm a consultant. Now, just know, I haven't, this is still the old bonuses, and this is saying you're maxing out your 13% bonus, and this is still the same. But when you have 3 people on your team, you have the option to earn 4%, 9%, or 13%. So anything under $1,000 wholesale of what your team does, that you're going to earn 4% of everything that they order from the company. If it's 1,001 through 1,799, you're going to earn 6%. And if it's over 1,800 wholesale between your team members, then you're going to earn 8%. So if you have a team that does $2,000 wholesale, you would do 2,000 times 0.08. You would get $160 commission check for that person. For that production. And if 2 of those were new and they came in great start qualified, you would get 2 $50 cash bonuses. So that would give you another $100. So that would be a $260 commission. Plus, you would get 2 $220 bonuses. So you would get $260 cash. Plus, if it puts you into a Star Team Builder, you get another $100 cash. So that would be $360. And then if you had 2 qualified, you would get $440 worth of products. So with that being said, if you do all of that out with your products and your bonuses, that would give you $800 profit. That if you went and sold that $440 like crazy. But as a consultant who has 5 people ordering on her team, well, 6 people, 2, 4, 6, and having a team production of 5,000, and then you get 3 qualified team members. This is just doing the cash, not the bonuses. And this is your team production. As a consultant, your commission check would be $800. And as a Mary Kay sales director, if you just had a $600 wholesale commission and you're selling $300 a week and you earned your You Hold the Key jewelry, then, and that was $1,200 retail backed up by a $600 wholesale, then your team production, you get to count for your team production for 13%. You get a 10% volume bonus. You get a unit development bonus for the qualified team members that you brought in. So that would be the 2,000, the 1,800, and the 600. Plus, you make 13% on your entire unit. So if you do that, your commission check would be $24.78. So that's kind of crazy, huh? For the same amount of work. That's why we want to look at how do we share the opportunity. So now we know who we're looking for. Now we know how to have the conversation to invite them. Now we know that not only and the other thing about building a team is it is so fun to actually have a running buddy. Like, I could not even imagine having my going through my Mary Kay journey without my recruiter. So Olivia and I, we earned our cars together within 1 month. We promoted ourselves into the top, into directorship together within 1 month. And we would get on the phone, and that's why Mary Kay has the Bring Your Besties promotion, that you guys, when y'all came in, you can now share this opportunity and give your first 3 team members a $25 gift card that they can come in, and so their starter kit is $75. And because it's more fun to bring your besties, and it's more fun to have a power partner. So like Olivia and I would get on the phone before back then we didn't have text, believe me, that we didn't even know that we had cell phones. I don't even think. But we would actually call each other 10 minutes before we got on the phone. We would challenge each other. If somebody wasn't like totally up, the other one would energize the other one. And then we would go, okay, now for 50 minutes, we're going to dial for dollars. And we would get on the phone, and we would have little competitions of who could either schedule more appointments or schedule sharing appointments or do interviews. But it was just, it's fun to have a running buddy. So that's what I know. All right. So I'm going to share with you like the anatomy of what you might think of would be a career chat. And this is a little more detailed, and I can go, so I'm going to give you a couple of things. We'll give you a broad one, and I'll give you a detailed one, depending on your personality. So let me go to share my screen. Okay. Okay, so with this, all right. So can you see that this is one of this is Julia Burnett. She is a national sales director. I love her thinking, and she put a flow and questions of a career chat. And she gave you a basic outline. So this is pretty detailed, and I'm going to give you a general one when we go through this. So, you know, her opening is, the following illustrates the typical flow of a career chat. And the best connectors modulate their voice and embody a tone of curiosity and genuine interest in another person. So one of the things when we do pearls of sharing calls, the first 3 things that we do is we're going to focus, like typically just in a broad overview. When I was taught to do sharing appointments, I let them know we're going to do 5 things today. The first thing that we're going to do is I'm going to find out a little bit about you. I'm going to share with you just a little bit about Mary Kay and about myself. I'm going to see if you have any questions, and then I'm going to see if this is something. I'm going to ask you if this would be something that you could see yourself doing now or in the future, or you know what, you might know someone in your life who's been praying for a new opportunity. So with that being said, the number one, the best way to share the facts is sitting with somebody toe to toe, knee to knee, and be in there, and to be having a one-on-one conversation. So once you put product on faces, or if you're doing your individual clothes, you could ask them to have coffee. But sometimes based on logistics, maybe that's not always feasible to be able to be face-to-face, knee-to-knee, toe-to-toe, but that is the best way to share the opportunity. You could do a telephone call. If you have iPhones, we can do FaceTime, or everybody can get a Zoom, a free Zoom account. And I think you can do 40 minutes free with Zoom, which and then you could be actually looking at the person, and you could have a conversation with the video chat. So opening, you want to be grateful, and you want to get to know her. So, you know, Sue, when we set up this chat, we said 30 minutes. Is that still okay with you? And maybe her life changed and she didn't have 30 minutes to work with you today. And then, I'd really like to get to know you. Then I'll see what questions that you have about my world. And then if it's a match, great. And if not, either, that's great. It's great either way. So you want to affirm people. And one of the great questions is, what inspired you to meet with me today? And tell me a little bit about yourself. And so Sean Key has given us the 4P questions. And so we want to know there, and I know the questions. I always get the picture, passion, purpose. Oh, y'all are going to laugh. I always forget the P's. I know the questions. All right. So tell me a little bit about yourself. That's the picture. Okay. And then what brings you joy? Like, what brings you joy? And you'll hear me. And then tell me about a time that you were successful, because I want to know from her perspective, what is important to her. And then I'm listening. And then tell me, if you could fast forward your life 1 year from now, money and time was not an object, what life would you like to be living? And what do you need most in your life? And so you really want to dig deep. And if I have a 20-minute call or even a 30-minute conversation, I'm probably going to spend a good majority of the time asking questions and listening, so I can literally share the facts about the opportunity that are important to her. She doesn't need to have everything. Does that make sense? Like if she's single and she's in her 20s, then I don't need to share the facts with her about how she can be a stay-at-home work from home for mom, because that isn't even applicable to her. And God gave us 2 ears and God gave us 1 mouth. And so with that being said, we ask questions and we're going to listen. So we're going to listen more than we're going to speak. And then if she watched a video, what stood out to you? And, imagine if in a million years you thought about weaving this opportunity in your life, what would you want to know? Because you want to ask her the questions that are important, and you want to share with her the facts about our opportunity. And so in this little flow chart, it has, okay, so transition to your questions for her. Okay, so I have some questions for you. If you are interested in this business, and these may help you make a decision. If not, it's still helping me with my training. Okay, so what are some of the strengths that you might have? If you ever did pursue a Mary Kay career, what would be your reason? And then that's where we're going to, and we can slow down our conversation, slow down our words, slow down or lower our voice, and just kind of meet her where she is. And then I'm going to give y'all a thing that says Mrs. There's a couple of ways to share the Mary Kay opportunity. One is spelling Mary Kay. I'll pull that up in a second. One is doing Mrs. Cabs. And so the M, and this is the old school. So one is money, recognition. Then S is self-growth, self-esteem. And then C is cars. A is advancement and like no glass ceilings and opportunities and advantages. And then B is be your own boss. All right. And I love that, the freedom and the flexibility. And then as you're talking and you're having a conversation, you might ask, might I ask if anything would perhaps hold you back, from getting started? What might that be? And then we're going to go into the close. So if I could show you how to get more of what you need, blah, blah, blah. So she said she needed more fun, more flexibility, more freedom, and still keep what you valued, because remember, we asked her what she valued, and she said she was going to value her family, and that is what brought her joy. And if I could show you how to do that, and what would, may I share with you, what would happen if you should decide to do something like this? So there's 2 decisions. The first decision is a $100 decision, and you get your starter kit. And then the second is more of a series of decisions based on how you want to run your business. Do you want to have, do you want to via would you like a hobby? Would you like part-time or more of a leadership track? And then you're going to share with her about her starter kit. It's 100 plus tax and shipping. And if she's one of your besties, well, then guess what? It's 75 plus tax and shipping. And then the starter kit has $400 of product in it. And it's got, guys, it has like $100 of benefits. And when you walk through this training by Julia Burnett, she says, okay, so now we're going to come to the concern. And so if someone said, I don't have time. Okay. So then the question we're going to ask, because this is going to isolate if the objection is the real objection or if it is not the real objection. So if Shay said, well, I don't have time, then my question would be, well, great. So Shay, if you had time, would this be something that you could fit into your life right now? And if she says yes, then I know that that's the real objection. And now we're going to go in and we're going to create how she can make the time. If she says no, then guess what? That's not the real objection. And I will tell you, most of the time, the real objection has to do with, how do I say this? Most of the time, the real objection, many of the time, is it's fear or belief or someone believing that they can't make it work. Does that make sense? Like that they'll fail. And that's where we want to assure them that they're in business for themselves, but not by themselves. And then, you can let them know, I'd love to have you on my team. So is there any reason why we couldn't get you started today? I'd love to work with you. And so, in this little flow chart, yes, she's got this. Okay, let's get your paperwork filled out. If she says no, okay, I totally understand. So let me ask you: is it no for now, or no for or no forever? And who would you know in your life that might be looking for or praying for an open opportunity? And then if she says, I need to think about it, then y'all can read through this, because I really want you to read through and I want you to really own these words and practice. Mary Kay said we would put a mirror in front of us when we had phone calls. And I did this as a new consultant, and we would learn to smile because your smile comes through, and then you can practice. And I love that we have phones now that we can record ourselves. So if you record yourself, and then you go back and listen to yourself, which is really kind of a scary thing to do, I have to tell you. But you'll get where it sounds professional. You'll get where you sound scripted. You will start to, you will get better every time you record yourself. So I need to think about it. I understand. Is there someone in particular, like a significant other or a parent or someone that you really desire for them to weigh in on your decision? And then, because if it's for their spouse, okay, well, what do you think that they would want to know? And is there a concern that you think that I can answer for you so that you can provide that information for them? And then we can talk about the pillow test. And the pillow test, if you go home and you sleep and you never think about it again, but if you continue to think about, could I do this, could I not? And you're just trying to justify or logically rationalize why, is this a good idea or not? Can I give you some homework? So have her make 2 columns, write the best, write the worst, and want to brainstorm what would be the best thing that would happen if you started a Mary Kay business, and what would be the worst thing. And then set a time to follow up with her within 24 hours. Then we're going to listen. And then you're going to just let her know, okay, great. Well, thank you for your time today. And, but I'll give you a ring tomorrow. And then you can let me know either way. I want you to know it's 100% great with me either way. And of course, I'd love to work with you. But what I want more is what you want. And if that means you are best served by staying a customer of mine, then that's what I want you to do. Okay? And we both still win. So deal. But if I don't know, it's like dating a guy who doesn't have the courage to tell you if he just wants to be friends, or you never hear from him, or all that. So let's just leave the wondering out. Okay? and let's, is that okay? So you're going to ask permission to have the conversation, and then you're going to have a follow-up call the next day, and it's going to sound something, okay, what have you been thinking about since our last conversation? Ask open-ended questions. Ask for a yes or a no. And then once again, if she says no, is it no, not now? Can I call you in a couple of months? Or no, not ever. Okay, I understand. But if anything were ever to happen, I'd love for you to reach out to me. And then there's a bunch of objections, and we all get the same objections, guys. So you want to practice this, and I'm going to share this with y'all. But some of the common objections are, I want to think about it. I totally understand. Okay. And then if I don't have time and I'm too busy. So if I could teach you how to have an extra couple hours each week and show you how to turn that into an extra $100, $200, would that be something that would be important for you? I don't have the money. And then you would share that. I'm not the sales type. Wait until whenever. I can't sell. I'm too shy. I'm not like you. My children are small. I love my job. My husband. So this is part of your homework. I don't want to obligate my friends. Okay. So then you could say, well, who do you know that knows 5 to 10 people that you don't know? So then, do you see how you can work from your small circle of friends, and they have 5 friends and they have 5 friends? And, in what ways do you think your family would be willing to support you? And you know what? Our friends and family buy makeup and skincare from where? And wouldn't they want to buy from someone who loves them and who, cares about them? And then we're going to close with this. Have to think about it. So at the end of a recruiting interview, prospect Pam is interested but needs to think about it before making a decision. We hear it all the time, guys. And out of concern, she's going to feel pressured. Do you make the common mistake of giving her too long to think about it? Every hour that passes between the time the interview is held and the money or agreement is processed online, every time the longer the longer the time, the chances of you getting a yes decrease significantly. More than 24 hours is too long for you and her not to touch base, and really the best decisions are made from the heart within that time frame. Okay? So this is just an amazing, when Dorothy shares this, and she said, may I share with you my observations on working with dozens of women in the decision-making process. It has been my experience that women tend to make decisions out of emotions, either from their heart, or they make choices based upon fear. Where men are more logical thinkers, women are intuitive, and you probably already know in your heart if this is what you want for what you want for yourself or not. And so we don't want people to go into analysis paralysis. So, one of the things that you can share is, I understand that right now you're feeling exciting and energized about what you've heard, and therefore most open to stepping out of your comfort zone and pursuing a dream. And I'm excited for you and believe in you 100%, 110%. Okay. So when I leave today, I will be taking my excitement and my belief in you home with me and leaving you alone with your fears. Okay? So one of the things that we want to do is not leave people alone with their fears. And we want to be able to assure them and let them know that we are there to serve, guide, coach, and mentor them. And so read through this because, she said, and great, I'm putting you down for 11 o'clock in the morning. So we can talk again, and just have your list of questions ready. And between now and then, if you can't stop thinking about Mary Kay, it's probably your heart urging you. So I wish you a sleepless night. We always called it the pink pillow test. And so I'm going to share this. I love this. I believe it's super thorough. And then we have some short guides that you can follow. And I believe that Mary Kay always said the faintest of ink is better than the most retentive memory. So whenever you are having a sharing appointment, you you have your notepad and you're taking notes. And you could also say, you know what, Leslie, while we're sitting here having our conversation, I'm going to go ahead and take notes. And I'm going to go ahead and ask that you take a couple of notes too, because I know that you might, once again, the most retentive, uh, the faintest of ink is better than the most retentive memory. And you can let them know, write down that your Mary Kay business is going to be $100, just $100 investment. And when we sell, we don't want to say dollars because dollars sound like a lot. But when you're talking to someone and you're saying, okay, if you're going to come into Mary Kay and it's 100, how many times have you walked into Target and you had $100 of products, and now you can say $100 because now you're on the other side, and you had $100 worth of products just jump into your cart, and you walked out of Target or you walked out of Walmart and you spent $100. Okay, did you do that a week ago, 2 weeks ago, and do you know what you purchased? So here's what I know: the 100 that I invested in my business 22 years ago has changed my life. And so wouldn't you want to be a woman who wanted to know that you gave something a try and it didn't, and maybe if it didn't work out for you, well, at least than to always be wondering and second guessing and living in the world of, could I have done it or could I have not? And so it is truly about how do we empower people to live their best life ever. So here's the 4 P's interview. Okay. So let me share this on my screen. Okay. Go over here, share. Okay. All right. Here's our 4 P's. So Sean Key is our Vice President of Salesforce and Development. And so here's our agenda. I'm going to ask you a little bit about yourself so I can get to know you a little bit better. I'm going to tell you a little bit about me and why I love Mary Kay, and I'm going to share with you a little bit about the company. And then you'll get to ask me some questions about the opportunity, and I'll share you with some facts. And at the end, I'll answer a few questions, and we'll wrap up our time. Okay? And so here's the 4 P's. The picture. Tell me a little bit about yourself. And we're going to pay attention to what she says. And before I close, I'm going to show you the DISC personality styles. So that's going to help you decide on how we can best share for her. The next question is, what brings you joy? Or you could say, what's important to you right now? And you're going to listen. And if she gives you your top 3, which one is number 1? And then what about her passion? Tell me about a time when you were successful. What did you like most about it? What do you see as your strengths? And 4 is the possibility. Fast forward your life 1 year from now. If time and money weren't an issue, what would your life look like? And what dream would you love to be living? And then we have step 2. You're going to share your I story. And this is succinct and short. And so you want to create, and if you when you work through Mary Kay University, one of the things that we want to do is it's called a why story. So you want your why story to be powerful. And after you create it, I want you to share it with me. And I want you, and then if there's something that I can see that you can shorten, tweak, or change to make it more powerful, then I'm going to do that for you. But let me tell you a little bit about myself and what I love, what I do. I was always taught, before Mary Kay, I did blah, blah, blah. And then I started my business because as a result of starting my business, I can. And what I'm looking forward to. So one of the things you want to do, so you want to let her know what you did before Mary Kay, why you started, what you've gotten out of Mary Kay, and what you're looking for. So as a new consultant, it might sound something like this. I started my Mary Kay business so I could earn full-time money for part-time work. I could be my own boss. I could set my own hours. I could have freedom and flexibility. And I could be able to, like Leslie, I could be able to supplement my income and put money aside for my wedding. And then what I've realized is I love the powerful, positive environment. I love that I can be a find a way, make a way woman, and that the personal growth and the self-confidence that I am gaining every day out of my Mary Kay business is helping me to be a better wife, a better mom, a better leader. And so I love this. And I love that, what I'm looking for is I'm looking for 30 women this month that would give me their honest opinion about this amazing product. And I'm looking for women who need more, who want more, and who would love to create a life of their dreams and who are willing to swim upstream in a downstream world. I'm looking for champions. So if you've been praying for plan A, plan B, plan C, and would love to have a little bit of information, I'd love to be able to sit down and share some facts with you. So that's like in a 2-second why story. What is your why? What is your purpose? And then the next step would be, you know what? If you could ask me anything about owning a Mary Kay business, what questions would you have? And I'm going to write them down and come back to you one-on-one. And then no questions. We're going to go back to Mrs. Cabs. And then to finish our time together, I'm going to ask you a few questions. So depending on your personality style, you can use a 4 Ps interview, or you can use, and I would definitely have you go through Julia Burnett's and work through all of the objections and the thinking, because she just details this out a little bit more. So out of everything you've learned today about Mary Kay, what impressed you the most? What do you think you would personally enjoy about owning a Mary Kay business? What could be your biggest fears, or what might hold you back from starting a Mary Kay business? Why would you want to start now? Why would it be more beneficial until waiting until later? And then if I never know when I sit down with someone if Mary Kay would be a good fit for them. But Mary, here's what I admire about you. Sincere, sincere, sincere compliment. And I would love to have you on my team. Is there any reason why you wouldn't want to work with me and start your own business? And then depending on what she says, then you could give her the scale, on a scale of 1 to 10, 1 being no in a million years, and 10, I'm ready to create the life of my dreams and get started today. What would your interest level be? And so, and then if it's below a 5, ask her, what would the opportunity have to offer you to join us? And if she says no, ask her for questions. And if she says yes, then we're going to continue to fact find to give her the information until she is a 10. All right, so that is the 4P interviews. And then we have our DISC. So I'm going to go back to sharing my screen one more time. Where did I put it? Right in front of me. Okay, here's the DISC. So this is personality styles, and we won't go into this today, but there are 4 personality styles, and D is the dominant. And so that person is results-oriented, makes quick decisions, likes to control people, loves power and authority. The I, and so if you think of this in an animal, the D might be a lion. The I, influencing, might be the peacock. They love people. They love to talk. They're motivational. They're enthusiastic. And then S is like a koala bear. They're the ones that's family-oriented, very loyal, slow to change. They're very security conscious. And then C is the compliance person. And that would be like the owl. They're detail-oriented. They're perfectionists. They're critical, self-critical. They're analytical. Like my dad is a C, like to the chart. Like if he's going to go buy a car, it takes him 5 years to buy a car. Okay, my husband and I are D. If we're going to go buy a car, I don't have to buy cars anymore. My husband will literally make a decision in the morning and go buy a car at lunch. Okay, that's the difference between a D and a C. And then the S, so what we're going to do is we're going to learn to be able to share the facts and how to communicate with each personality style. So when we're asking all the 4P questions, we're going to listen. And if someone is an S or a C, my tone is going to slow down. And if it's a C, it's going to be very detailed. And it's going to be a 2-part interview process. And then if it's a D or an I, then my talking is going to be quicker, faster. And so I'm going to let The D talk because the D's want to talk, and the I's want to talk, and the I's love a party. So we want to know the benefits when you're sharing the opportunity with people, what is important to them. This is where when we go through the Mrs. Cabs of what is actually important, we want to hone on the things that make it important to each of them. So if you're a D person, they want to know, leadership opportunities, independence, income. If you're an S person, then you want to know that you can spend time with your family. You've got training and support. You've got guarantees. If you're an I, they want recognition. They want the party. They want the people. They want the fun. And if you're a C, they want the financial statements. They want all the facts. They want it printed out, everything. And then you want to know their fears. So, a C, their biggest fear is to be criticized for their work. And the S, the security-minded, is loss of security. And then the I is loss of social recognition. They want to be praised to success. And then the D, their biggest fear is they don't want to be taken advantage of. So these are some of the questions that literally will help you when you nail down those 4P questions, okay? So the personality profiling, if you don't know your personality, there are, you can actually take your personality profiling, and I would recommend that you do because it's powerful. And once you know where you are, our job is to meet that person where they are. I don't expect somebody that I'm working with to match my personality style. My role as a leader and as a communicator is for me to match their personality style. And Shay probably heard my tone was a little different in some of the different conversations because each person was different. So with that, I'd love to get your feedback, your questions. What did you learn? What was your aha? And if you have any questions, what would that be?
I think I actually find it funny. I started my new job with Chase Bank, and we just took a personality quiz where it was the controller, the thinker, the feeler, and the entertainer, which is very close to the DISC, where the D for y'all is the controller for us. The I is the entertainer, and then the S is the feeler, very spoken, and then the C in y'all's DISC would be our thinkers, very precise. They want numbers exactly the same. So I think it's funny that I actually just took that quiz. I took it Friday.
Uh-huh.
It turns out that I was an entertainer, always like, and they're bouncy people. They're all over the place with their conversations. They're here and there, and it's almost like a spiral where like you finally get the end result right at the end. It goes in circles and circles until they hit the final point. And I think it's a great team building thing. But we learned that everybody is going to butt heads with the controller. For us, the controller is going to butt heads with the controller, the entertainer, thinker, and the feeler. All bump heads with them because they're very in a way demanding, but in a way where they just want to get their stuff done, which isn't a bad thing, of course. But I found that very, very interesting. It's all about team building.
And I will say this, we use the DISC. I have all of this for how to sell to people too.
Mm-hmm.
Sell situation, because we sell to each of the personality styles differently. And if you want to know, when I walked into corporate America, when I was a 21-year-old, I actually took this DISC with Southwestern Bell all those years ago.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we did an exercise with that where we heard, because I do fraud claims or just claims, we heard the interaction between the customer and the associate.
Mm-hmm.
It wasn't to see which associate was what, it was to hear different customers as a feeler, thinker, entertainer, and controller. So we heard the customer's end and how the associate kind of changed their tone, their voice, the way that they interact to match the customer to get the results.
Yeah, so that's a great observation, Pilar, and that is the truth. That is what we do. So that's awesome, because we have to meet the person where they are. It's not their job to meet us where we are, and it's our job to communicate on a level that our customers, our team members, are the people you're leading feel safe and connected. So definitely. So who else wants to tell me what they got out of today?
So I'm a D, but I need to learn how to, I guess, communicate with the other letters, because I think I come off abrasive all the time.
And so Pilar, I just muted you for noise for just a second. So that is, and we can do more on role playing and on having those conversations, because the more that we can identify where we are, and the more that we can identify where other people's personality styles are, then we can meet them where you know what I'm saying? We can actually meet them where they are. And the other thing, just so you know, as you do this work, you can have some of your D. When I was a new director, my D was totally off the chart and very controlling. So I'm a little softer now, but sometimes if I'm, we always, if you're in a situation, then sometimes those tendencies come back to get us. But yeah, so awareness is key. So I want to just acknowledge you, Shay, for that. Okay, Leslie, let's wrap us up and take us home. What did you hear?
I really liked the 4 keys. I liked the first one picture, so you could really get to know the customer.
Oh, we lost her. Yes, she was garbly. So she liked the 4 Ps. Oh, there you're back. I don't know. I think her reception is not so good. So Leslie, your reception isn't so good. Can you hear us? Okay, we can't hardly hear you, but so what I heard is that you like the 4 Ps.
To know the customer that you're talking to.
Okay, so Leslie, we can't hear you. You can type. You don't have good reception. What? I'm sorry, sweetie. I cannot hear you at all. All right. So my request for you is make your list. I will have this recorded. That way you can go back and listen to it. Also, I'll put together, if you haven't already listened to, go scroll down on the Facebook group. There was a post on Thursday that I posted that was Kristen Sharp, National Sales Director, and there's a YouTube link that you can listen to a 15-minute call for her. And then I'll give y'all access to some other things. And so your goal is to find 5 people and ask them to listen to a sharing conversation. If you want to do it with me, then let me know if you want to set that up. And then let's get you equipped so that you're doing your own sharing appointments, because I know each and every one of you on this call or on this Zoom are more than capable and more than confident. You guys are leaders. You are rock stars, and you have the ability to live into your giftings. And so I know that yeah, I want you to be able to share from your heart. So I'll share those tools with you, and you know what? Study and hone your skills. So with that, have a beautiful evening. Love you all. Mwah! Bye.